What's going on, y'all? It's your boy Lee, and hopefully today I can help y'all make the decision on if you want to learn how to code and how you can learn how to code if you decide to make that decision. Just a little background on me before I get started. I went to a community college, 2015, coming out of high school, and I chose graphic design. But back then, I only wanted to pick something because, you just want to feel like, you on the path to doing something, but really I just ain't know what I wanted to do. Then I talked to my uncle. He was like, you should really check out computer science. And I was like, I saw that math. I stuck through it, and I'm just glad. It's like probably one of the best decisions I could have ever made in my life. And so I ended up majoring in that in a 4-year. Got out immediately, got to working as a software engineer. So some people watching this video, you may about to be going to college, you may be leaving college, you know what I mean? This is for people of all different scenarios, situations, whatever you want to call it. It don't really matter. So before we get into like the nitty gritty of the video, let's just kind of answer a simple question. Like, what is coding? Like, what is that exactly? You know what I mean? Like, what is coding? Like, what exactly is it? Well, coding or programming is just basically, writing commands and just pretty much code to do whatever you want to do. I mean, to put it real simple, to put it in ABCs for people that, you're not coming from a technical background, it's like, there's no point even trying to make it technical. Just put it to you like that. It's like all that code you may see in like photos on the internet, or maybe you see it in movies, but the people that are writing that code, they're writing it to do something. Maybe it's to handle requests to like a web server. Maybe it's to handle upload image requests to Facebook, things like that. So you write code to do certain things. You probably don't realize it, but I mean, all the apps on your phone, everything that you pretty much use is, it's code behind it. Different languages. Some stuff in C++, some stuff in React or JavaScript or whatever you want to call it. You know what I mean? Like, there's so many things in the background that you don't know about, and hopefully I can give you a little bit more insight on those things in this video. So I wanted to break this video down into 2 parts. The first part being, should you learn how to code? The second half of the video is going to be how you can learn how to code. So I don't want to waste nobody's time. Let's get right into it. So should you learn how to code? Yes. I don't care what background you're coming from. I don't care how old you are. I don't care if you about to go to school, if you already left school, whatever your situation is, you should absolutely learn how to code, because it is something that you could do for a hobby. You could build your own little personal things for yourself to help, your situation in your life or whatever, or you can make some money off it. So let me answer some common questions or, misconceptions people may have. You got to be real nice with it at math. No, you don't. To be honest with you, like if we're talking about going in for a degree, you just have to be able to wing it, right? Like, math isn't in the forefront of coding, right? It's a part of it. Some of it's dibbled and dabbled in there, but really you just have to be able to wing it. But in reality, when you step out here, like in like the real world, and you're contributing to projects, millions of lines of code, most people are not touching any type of math whatsoever with code. Another misconception is that you have to be like some kind of genius or brainiac, or you had to like come out the womb with a laptop. It's just like, you just have to be pressed, right? Pressed in the sense that, when it's like you're learning and you get that like mental roadblock that's just like, what the F is this stuff, right? Like that, just that feeling of just like, I'm good off this, right? You have to be able to basically, weather the storm with that, and just know that, hey, like, I'm gonna get through it. Let me take a break. Let me get up, walk away. You know what I'm saying? And just recuperate myself. But it's not that big of a deal. I'm gonna figure the problem out. The last misconception I want to address is like, you have to be like a computer person. People say that, and it's just like a computer person, and one person is someone that knows the hardware of the computer. They know like motherboard, all that stuff. And somebody else, they might be somebody that's just like, they know how to like do the router stuff and IP addresses. Like, just saying a computer person is someone that's not technical, you know what I mean? Like, they don't know what. They just think you just nice with tech. You don't have to look. you could be coming from a place where it's like you're a bio major and the only tech related things you really know how to do is Excel and PowerPoint. That's it. So to cap the first section off, again, yes, you should absolutely learn how to code. You really start to see the fruits of your labor. You really start to see what you could do with this stuff. So now let's get to the second section, and that would be the different ways that you can go about learning how to code if you do want to go down the route. So the first way you can learn how to code is getting a degree, more specifically a 4-year degree. This learning method is probably the most preferred. It's probably the most widely used just because, you know, coding is such a daunting task and it's kind of like a black box. It's kind of like the wild, wild west for new people because you don't know where to start, right? Everything just looks like, you know, words and stuff and numbers and you're just like, okay. With school, they really provide you with like a structure and just a lot of opportunities, which I'm about to get into. The first pro that I have for getting a 4-year degree from a university is that they're job fairs. Job fairs are definitely like a place that you want to be showing out and just networking. You got decent grades, you're competent, you can end up with an internship like at JP Morgan Chase. And I had to say that one because I remember I blew that when I was in school. Shaking my head. You can have an internship with NASA. You can have an internship with Google. Depends on where you go. But the point being is that there's always going to be opportunities if you put yourself out there. Another reason to go for the degree learning pathway is that basically it's structured learning. Like everything's pretty much spoon-fed for you. Most professors just expect you to just show up, you know, show some effort, act like you care, don't have your phone out, and you Gucci. The last pro that I have for a degree learning pathway is definitely a big one, and that's in-depth knowledge. When you go to a 4-year university, you know, or you're taking like a course from a school about, you know, computer science or programming more specifically, they're really going to break things down for you. So enough with the pros with a 4-year degree. Let's talk about the cons. And I'm pretty sure like some of you already know what the cons are probably going to be. The first con, which is the biggest one, is money. Unfortunately, if you go to a 4-year university, that's probably going to happen. You're going to have some debt with you. You know, you might get some grants. I got some grants, right? But I also got some loans that I'm still paying off. I definitely understand if that's something that deters you, and I'm not gonna hold you. Like I don't blame you. You know what I mean? There's so many other people that have had major success without going to a 4-year college or university for computer science or programming or whatever. Let's get to the second learning pathway for how to code, in my opinion, which is the self-taught route. If the degree learning pathway was like a city where it's like everything got structure, you know all the roads, you know all the streets, you know where all the bars are. Everything is just pretty much there for you. You don't even need GPS. Well, the self-taught route is like, you know, we went from New York with the degree learning pathway to Arizona, and now we're in the Wild Wild West. And now you see a cactus with some tumbleweed blowing, and there's like a saloon with the doors that go like this. It's the Wild Wild West. You know what I mean? You could be somebody that, you know, the learning pathway that you go to figure all this stuff out is working for you. You know what I mean? Like whether that be your own self-determination or like the resources you're using, like it's working for you. So let's get into the pros and the cons of the self-taught route. First pro, it can be completely free 99. Everybody likes free. Nobody likes to spend money. You know what I mean? And we all know who we learned that from. At the end of the day, you want to get the most bang for your buck while doing the least amount of effort. You know what I mean? So it's understandable. And you know, going the self-taught route, it's like you can manage that. You can manage your budget. You know what I mean? Like there's no tuition you paying. You don't gotta buy books. You know what I mean? So it's all up on you. The second pro I got for the self-taught route is definitely gotta be that you can go at your own pace. Don't nothing feel worse than when you're driving in traffic or you just driving and somebody is like literally on the ass of your car tailgating you. You know what I mean? They're not allowing you to drive the way that you want to drive. They're telling you, yo, you gotta speed up. I'm trying to get past you. I'm trying to go to where I gotta go. But it's like, yo, I want to go at my own pace. Like, what's going on? Well, with the self-taught route, it's kind of like a similar situation. It's like in school, they telling you, hey, like we need this lab like tomorrow, or I'm about to give you an F. But with the self-taught route, it's like, oh, you good, fam? It's on you. It's on you. Everything you do is on you. So it's just like, it's your own pace. And if you're that type of person where it's like, hey, I like it best like that, then this might be the route for you. Now let's get into the cons of the self-taught route. First con I put is lack of discipline / motivation, but it's not really a con. It's kind of like a situational con, like a con that can be a con depending on the type of person that you are. If you're not somebody that's like really intrinsically motivated to like just be a go-getter, a self-starter, and you kind of just like need a coach, or you need someone like as a battery in your back, this is not the route for you. I'm gonna keep it a stack bundle with you. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. Don't even try. Because here's what I don't want to do. I don't want to say you need to persevere, you need to fight through it, and you need to, you know what I mean? Because this is the thing, like, you don't know whether or not coding is worth persevering or fighting through for. I didn't truly know coding was worth fighting through, like the growing pains and like just the stuff you go through it for, until I was about like a year or two like in university. Right before that, I was like shaking the dice with it because I just wanted to make money. So I'm not finna tell, you know, people that are watching my video for information like, you know, you gotta fight through it, you gotta keep going, because I don't know if that's what you want to do. But however, if you do find that you do have an interest in it, you know what I mean, and you would like that extra push, but it's hard to really get going by yourself, maybe this ain't the route for you, self-taught. The last con I have is lost in the sauce. Funny thing about this con, this phrase or this con or whatever, is actually my good friend from college actually says it a lot. And funny enough, we're both software engineers at the same company, which I think is super dope. Shout out my man MJ. Nah, but he always would say like lost in the sauce, because it's just like, you know, sometimes it's just, there's too much going on, right? Like, hear me out. You're new to coding, you're looking at all these new terminologies or whatever, and if you're going the self-taught route, you know what I mean? Like, you're gonna be looking up like, what is a compiler? You know what I mean? Like, you might look up like, you know, what is pass by reference? But then like on another page you see the word string, and then on another page you see the word var, or just these things that are just all over the place, and like this just big web of what the F. You know what I mean? And you don't have someone to kind of just like layer it like a cake, or it's just like level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4, level 5. It can get dicey going the self-taught route. The last learning avenue that I have is coding bootcamp. Coding bootcamp is like Guantanamo Bay. No, I'm just playing, but just think of somewhere that's just like, yo, you know, from the time they start the clock to when your duration is finished for that day, you're gonna be coding and just learning. Let's get to the pros and the cons. On the pro side, I only had one pro, and that's not because like I'm a coding bootcamp hater, but it's just because like in my personal opinion, looking at it versus the other two, I think there really is only one pro to it, and that's that it's fast. From the start of you learning how to code versus, you know, you starting to make money, like you starting to actually see the fruits of your labor. I think like the average coding bootcamp is like what, 2 to 3 months, something like that. But we'll actually get to checking that out soon. Let's get to the cons. I only got 2. First con, it's relatively expensive. And with this con, you know, I don't want to get too much into the prices because I kind of want you all to see for yourself, just so you can have an idea of what stuff looks like next to like certain names, and we can actually see them for ourselves. Okay, so now we're in a part of the video where basically, you know, I want to take y'all through looking at some of the prices for these places. But funny enough, there is a looks like a coding bootcamp ad here for Coding Dojo. This is a popular one. Not gonna even watch that, but I just think that's funny. Forbes.com/advisory/stuff. All right, so the best coding bootcamps of 2023. The first place is Thankful Software Engineering Bootcamp. So, 9,500. I hope you guys can see that. If not, I'm just gonna read it out loud. I apologize if you can't see like the font that's on the screen. But we got 9,500 for tuition part-time. We got 16,000 for full-time. And the hiring partners are Google, Webflow, IBM, Amazon, Twitter, Walmart Labs. All those companies, you making bread. All right, now let's check out Full Stack Academy. So Full Stack Academy, tuition $17,480 to $18,000. Hold up, what was Thankful? Thankful was, oh nah, like this thing better be, I better come out of here like, you know, them dudes in the movies, like they got the hood on, the fingerless gloves, they be like, I'm ready to hack into the system. They just be like, and I am in. It's like, no. Nah, but for real though, I better be ready to come out here like, I'm Mark Zuckerberg or something. So those have been, the three different ways you can learn how to code. And hopefully with all that information I just gave y'all, my own personal pros and cons list, as well as looking at some of that information on the internet, hopefully y'all can make a decision on whether or not, you want to learn how to code and how you're going to go about it if you do make that decision. I just thought I'd give some game to y'all and just let y'all know you could definitely do it. You know what I mean? You don't have to be some type of person. You could be somebody that's working at Shoppers. I mean, I'm being dead serious with you. No funny. Like, you could be anybody and you could do this. Like, it's you don't have to be no type of brainiac person. As always, more love, less hate.